All right, welcome back in. Just another football show.
We all hooed out.
Got to talk to some fans, guys.
Oh, I got
It's fan time. We got fan time. We decided, we made the executive decision after talking to the fans that it's its own thing, guys. It's got to have its own thing. Yeah. We got to give them their own episode. We very much appreciate these guys for taking the time all postseason. You know, these guys have talked to us, both of them, since Wild Card Weekend.
Yep. Nicholas a couple times.
No bye week. Yeah, Nicholas a couple times because I fucked that up.
One time.
And this is the first time since
I did figure out what happened with that.
that
I couldn't save it, but I did figure out what happened there. He definitely bailed us out talking to me. Yeah. On the plus side, he's West Coast. So talking to me late at night was talking to him just regular night.
Dinner time.
So
he just finished dinner.
It worked out nicely. So we're gonna talk.
But the first time
we've
had a
Nicholas.
Super Bowl with two, like 6 or worse seeds coming into it, and X amount of years. Both these teams came in. Rams were
5 seed.
Rams were 5.
Rams were 5.
5. Yeah. So
Bengals were a.
It's been a long time since we've had at least.
Yeah, Bengals won the division.
They won
both teams won their division, so they were right.
Cards won the division.
Cards won.
You're right. Cards won the division. Yeah, because the Rams lost that last.
No. Rams did win the division. First time the two teams
they backed into it because the Cardinals lost.
Yeah, whatever.
Have come from the 4 spots.
Just edit out all the bad parts. We'll look stupid.
Yeah.
It's fine.
There was a first time
guys,
thing there weird, but
it's getting late. We've been recording. The only thing we have left to record is our actual Super Bowl preview, which is coming at you on Friday, guys. We're also going to play a little quarterback match game. We're going to go through a lot of the teams, not all of them.
It's a hot topic.
But we're gonna. I mean, we're not going to spend a lot of time, but there are some quarterback talking points that we'll hit on, and we're going to give you predictions for most of the league. We're not going to roll through all of them because I mean there are some teams that it's just like we know who's starting for these teams. We know Josh Allen's start. Like these teams, we're not going to spend a lot of time on, obviously, but. I mean, if you want to make a bold prediction, Ryan, you would sound fucking amazing if you called it. So
there's a dude there just hanging out that I kind of like.
There is. That's very true.
His
name's
Allen?
Mitchell Trubisky. He's a Trubisky fan.
The truth. I had a thought that Mitch Trubisky might follow somebody up to New York.
So. We're gonna talk to the two fans though on this episode. Both we've recorded them as we talk. I don't wanna like bullshit anybody, but both interviews are super fun. Both fans super fun. We had a really good time talking to these guys all postseason, and they're both hyped and ready for a Super Bowl.
It's hard to kind of have like a rapport over the phone, right? But even things like timing, understanding, all those things kind of come through. So both these guys have been very, very good. All of our fans are good.
For sure.
But these two, have more experience than some of the other people this
We appreciate them taking the time and doing it, as I told both of them. So let's just get right into it. I think we're going to go Rams first, right? They're the home team, so we give them first billing. Let them let Nicholas give us a little talk on the Rams and how he feels the game's going to go, and then we'll get Bengalorian on the phone and go from there. Sound like a plan, guys?
Sounds good.
Yeah, all right, works for me. Fuck, I'm just here for a good time.
Let's get them going. All right, so been following along all postseason. That's what we do, right? Talking to fans.
That's why they really root for their teams.
We got to get the actual fans on.
Boots on the ground.
Had to get Nicholas back on. He's our Rams fan. He's been talking to us all postseason long. Nicholas, your team in the Super Bowl at home. How's it feel? It's got to feel pretty damn good, right?
It feels amazing.
Yeah, and it's been like a weird year for the Rams, right? With the Stafford going all in, then OBJ, Von Miller, Sonny Michel, all this stuff. So to kind of overcome that, to kind of have a plan that sorts out and seems to actually work. How does that feel to know that your team kind of went all in and at least got to the precipice? They're right here staring at
the opportunity where it can pay off.
It's been amazing, man. Honestly, when it felt like the season went so well at the beginning, and then mid-season started kind of crumbling down a bit. Started getting a little dark. But just right there at the end of the tunnel was this light, and we head right towards it. And here comes all these God-sended players from OBJ. Von Miller, even Powell's been godsend. We've just been grateful for all these guys really picking it up.
Nicholas, they say when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you've got to be a man. You can't let it slide. And that's sort of what this team did throughout all of this, that was a little bit of me quoting a Real American Hulk Hogan theme song there, but sort of what this team did. And, Ryan said you went all in, and it was sort of all in before it was fully all in. All in was, Stafford, this is going to be the guy, this is the change we need to make, going to take us to the Super Bowl. And then, like you said, OBJ comes overboard. And then, you get Von Miller. These are both guys that at first, and you mentioned that sort of weird midseason lull, didn't really sort of take effect.
The first week.
First couple of weeks. And then, Von Miller was probably there, a month before he got his first official sack. And then it's been sack after sack after sack. OBJ's playing, Baker made us all forget how good OBJ was, apparently. So is it relieving, relaxing to know that going all in is sort of panned out? Are you worried at all about the future, or are you just enjoying the moment and we'll worry about next season come next season?
Yeah, we gotta see what happens, first, one game at a time, and this is the one that counts, the big one.
Yeah, do you and it seems like they've done this a few times, right? Kind of go all in and tried it with Goff a little bit. I know you've been our fan for a while. You went through the Goff years. I was always a little soft spot for Goff, but Stafford came in. Stafford came in, and that was kind of the difference. Were you on the Stafford bus or Stafford ship? Some sort of fun rhyming thing to say about Stafford. Were you on that the whole season?
I was all for it, man. In the first podcast I've been on, I was a good riddance to Goff. Thank you, but no thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Harsh but fair. Harsh but fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? He did his thing that Super Bowl, and it all came crashing down with that ridiculous Super Bowl score of 13-3 against our rival, the Patriots. And then here we are again, but this time it's a different team. Yeah. This time we're not only more experienced, we're hungry, and we have a much more experienced, better of a hustler quarterback than Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. So you say you were like backing Stafford all season. When he comes out on that first series and throws an interception against San Francisco, were you still riding Stafford, or were you cursing his name a little bit at that point?
I mean, yeah, of course I was. I wasn't happy about those interceptions, and I was like, gosh darn it.
Classic Stafford.
Yeah, I've already came down to conclusion. The guy likes to throw at least a pick a game.
Yeah, get it out of the way early seems to be the plan.
Yeah, I'm already came to conclusion. That's what he does. Makes the game a little bit more difficult for him. He likes a challenge.
Yeah, just get the one out.
Yeah,
get it out of the way early. You don't have to worry about
it. It's the jitters.
It's not going to come back.
And beating that Niners team, was it like they'd what 6 in a row, going for 7? Was it
the one that mattered?
Was it like getting the monkey off your back, or was it just like job done on the next week or 2 weeks?
So when the moment hit, euphoric. We finally did it. 7 was the one. And they're out. We didn't want to face them, of course. They had our number, but you know what? We just took it to them, and it was a good game. In the end, we came out on top. For me, personally, I was just like, all right, we beat this team. Now let's focus on the big game. I noticed that a lot of the fans out there, especially in these groups on Facebook, they're still talking about it. They're still posting the memes of Debo crying. They're still posting all these other things about San Francisco. I'm like, guys, we need to stop talking about that game. That game's said and done, set in stone. We need to focus on this next game, the big one against Cincinnati.
Yeah, Nicholas, we play a little game here at the podcast called Never Read the Comments, which you just avoid all of those. And I'm sure the players are moved on and worried about it. So you don't have to worry about that so much. Fan perspective, yes, it's fun to finally get the one over San Francisco, enjoy the moment. Talk about Stafford, and we sort of joke about that, he's good for, one interception in a game. And this is something Matthew Stafford's never had. He's never had a good quality team around him. He's played with one of the best receivers in the league all time in Calvin Johnson, but as far as top to bottom, position by position on a roster sheet, has never had this level of talent around him. And that's sort of showing, and it sort of showed in that game against Tampa, where he was, 4 turnovers at one point?
The team did, yeah.
The team did total. Stafford had at least 2 interceptions, and that fumble that went over his head.
I think he had a pick, and he had that fumble that went over his head.
Fumble over his head.
Yeah.
But it was sort of this. Now it's not necessarily just a Matthew Stafford thing. It's not just him that has to overcome these. He can look at his peers on the team and the talent there, and they just kind of go, "We got you. Don't worry about it. We got you." Is that sort of the feeling you get here with this team?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted. It's you mentioned back in his days with the Lions, it was a Stafford Megatron show, and that was about it. You didn't really have anybody else at all to name, and they managed to pull it off, here and there, and he was able to help Megatron get the record for number one. But now he has a similar repeat with Cooper Cup. He's got the top wide receiver in the league right now. He's got other players that he could definitely count on. And I think what really helps is he's got a defense that he can just rely on to get that ball back into his hands.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of showed up. It certainly showed up in that Niners game, right? It wasn't obviously Stafford had I think 337 yards, something like that, but low-scoring game. Defense held him through. Jaquaski Tart dropped a surefire interception that would have won the game. I had to bring it up. I gut shot, right? But got there, right? Whole team's getting there. Coach, defensive coordinator, right? You have other teams poaching your coordinators.
And the moment's not lost. And you talk defense here, and all the talk in that NFC Championship game, before and during, up until he started making plays in that late fourth quarter, was Aaron Donald's kind of a quiet player. Doesn't say a whole lot.
Sometimes.
But all week long was trying to preach importance to his team on this game, get them motivated, sort of get them fired up. And when they needed it, and they needed him to make the biggest plays, boom, it happened. Is that sort of a thing that you can see replicate success against this Bengals team?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be a little bit of similarity with the Niner game. We didn't see too much of Aaron Donald in the beginning, and it was, like you said, the play that mattered the most is when he got in there and he caused the rush and the pressure and the mistake. I think it's going to be similar. The offensive line is going to double, triple team Aaron Donald, but this is where opportunity sets for Von Miller to come in with his experience being in the Super Bowls before. This is where openings come for Floyd and Gaines to come in there and get put on the pressure. Our defense is going to have to take those opportunities when they're triple teaming Aaron Donald. I guarantee it's going to happen.
Yeah, you have tons of guys in there that kind of feast off the fact that Aaron Donald is getting double teamed. We know.
Yeah, I like a lot of those not Aaron Donald guys for first sack prop.
Greg Gaines is one I was going to bet for. It's like 14-1 or something like that, just because he's been really good this year. But and we know the stats there. I'm sure that Rams fans have been salivating at the 9 sacks that Cincy gave up a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But guess what, Rams fans, they still won that game, right? How do you feel? I guess I don't think you're worried, but how do you feel about kind of the swagger that this team has had? The Cincinnati Bengals. They've been down. They've come back. They seem to be able to kind of put things together. Does that scare you at all, or do you think that you guys got the experience and the coaching know-how and the veteran players to kind of overcome that and prevent that from happening to you guys?
Well, let's just want to point out the obvious. Yes, Cincinnati does not have the greatest line to protect Burrow. No, he does not. Are we going to see another 9 sacks like Tennessee? Probably not. I mean, it's hard to repeat that amount of sacks in a game. But
it was a league record.
Most I have one of my best friends. His name's Jimmy from LA. He's a big Tennessee fan, and he's all like, you know what? The Bengals didn't beat us. We gave them that win. We beat ourselves, and I agree. I feel that Tannehill really gave them that W.
Casey's saying the same thing about the Chiefs, so.
Yeah, man. So again, I'm not gonna say the Bengals have won out of luck. I'm not gonna say that. No, they deserve to be here like any other team, that's made it through this far. Am I worried? Yeah, they got that cool under pressure kind of spunk going on, but in the end, I feel that we're not going to take them lightly, of course not, but we're going to really rely on not just our top players, but that experience from both our players and our staff that have been here before, that have experienced the stage.
Yeah, you've got a lot of guys on that team that have been there. They were part of the Super Bowl team a couple years ago. You got Matthew Stafford. And I sort of made a joke in our Wednesday episode about maybe the moment might be too big for Stafford. You watch him throw interceptions. I don't think so, but you know, you never know. He could come out there with a little bit of hiccup and a jitter. What I wanted to talk to you, I wanted to piggyback off of Ryan's point about defensive line versus this offensive line, and a situation where, yes, this offensive line is terrible, but Burrow is absolutely outstanding against the blitz.
Number 1 in the league, I think.
Number 1 in the league against the blitz. Going into the game against Kansas City, it was like 23 of 25 with 3 touchdowns in the postseason against the blitz. So really good numbers there. But this is an LA Rams team that doesn't have to blitz. You can get some of those coverage sacks that we like to talk about in this league. You got Eric Weddle back, who's having a tremendous run. He had a big pick against Garoppolo. I think it was the pick against Garoppolo to sort of set the thing in motion here for the Super Bowl run. You know, you got Ramsey back there. You got a great back end, and all they need is a little bit of time to get there. So you got to be feeling pretty good about that, knowing that, yes, Joe Cool is very good under pressure, but we don't need to dial up that pressure. We can get there and get home with our guys covering the back end.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's what we've been doing. We haven't really been blitzing. We've just been getting there from sheer old school football power and pushing.
Grit.
I think that's exactly what we're going to see. And you mentioned Eric Weddle, that guy, and him and Scott have been absolutely hard hitting physical football. And that's what we're going to do. You're going to see the same momentum, the same physicality, the same aggressiveness that we've been playing throughout these playoffs. It's going to be a hard-hitting, rumbling game from our defense. And I think that's going to become wear and tear on that offensive line. Now, when it comes to Burrow being a kind of a perfect quarterback for the blitz this year, and he's definitely known as a scrambler, it's not anything new to us. You know, we dealt with Kyler Murray, and I think that's one of the reasons why we got a linebacker like Von Miller to cover the outside. We have Leonard Floyd on the other side, you know, so he's got some big guys he's got to go through. And yeah, we have Jalen Ramsey getting ready to go up against Chase. And I think he's ready. I really do. I think that we're going to play that man-to-man coverage on him real well and real tight. We're going to be able to stop a few of those good passes. And that's where they've been coming down is those important plays, those third down conversions. They've been really, really good at that.
Yeah, you mentioned really good at third down. There's a little bit of worry that if you get Ramsey and so much attention focused on Jamar Chase, it's going to open things up for like a T. Higgins on the field.
That's my secret weapon.
That's Ryan's secret weapon as far as his betting goes for this weekend. But you talked about the physicality, and I want to ask you about that because that was all the knock on this Rams team going into games with San Francisco is they know that they had been out physicaled and they need to match that. And it was sort of just happened. This NFC Championship game was the first time that I really saw this Rams team sort of match that level of intensity, that hard hitting, that perfect clean hit on Debo that I was so mad about but couldn't be mad about because it was textbook, it was clean, just fucking laid him out. How does this Rams team bring that level of intensity to Cincinnati is my thought. It's not a division rival here. It's not a team that you played before this season. There's really no bad blood. Yes, it's the Super Bowl. Yes, it's a win, and this is the biggest game ever. But how do you sort of recreate that feel going into it?
Well, I'll tell you. For one, we're getting some players back. Like Taylor Rapp. He practiced, so he's coming back. That's a good sign that we're getting some fresh new looks into the defense. We're able to keep guys rotating in and out, keep them fresh. I saw that Sebastian Day is looking good coming back. That's going to be good with Greg Gaines, him and Day going in and out. So keeping it fresh really helps. I think keeping Scott as starter and maybe bringing in Rapp on third down is going to throw a little bit of a confusion. We have Eric Weddle. We trust him enough that he's going to be our signal caller. So I think that's going to lay off some pressure off Ramsey and Donald, our other captains. And again, we're just a hard-hitting team. I think we're all about momentum and we're consistency right now, and that's where we're on a roll.
Yeah, you got to make sure to capitalize on that. But you've started, right? That's the hard part. It's kind of starting. You just have to make sure to capitalize. We always seem to see some weird shit happen in the Super Bowl. Some player come out of nowhere, make a household name for himself, and then maybe be forgotten about in a couple of weeks, or sustain that.
David Tyree?
Yeah, right. So is there a player on this Rams team you think that we have a chance of, coming out of nowhere and being the guy that everyone's talking about all Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then we move on with the news cycle as we always do in football? Is there someone on this Rams team that you think could pop off on Sunday?
Yeah, you know what? Kendall Blanton. He's he really came through for us the last game, and with Tyler Higbee still being on that injury list and on the questionable side of it, he's we're gonna look to him, and we're gonna need him. I believe he's our only tight end left.
Salt in the wound there on that question, Ryan.
Hey, just saying.
He's right. He's the guy that I'm going, who the fuck's this guy, and why is he so open all the time?
I started Kendall. I was back against the wall, but I started Kendall Blanton in a fantasy game this year, so he's on my radar. But it didn't work out for me that week. Let's just say that. But all right, Nicholas, looking at the thing as a whole, it is a really, really tight matchup. If you break down all the stats, these teams are very close. They have the exact same number of points scored per game, 27.1. A lot closer game than it seems on paper. A lot closer lines here than maybe Vegas thinks. But Nicholas, as you've done and you've been right so far, how do you think this game goes? Maybe a little bit of game flow, and then you gotta give us a final score. What you got?
Well, the key components for the Rams is I don't think it's going to be so much our passing wide receiver cores. I think it's going to be more our running game. I think we're going to really, really run the ball well against these guys. They've showed it in these last two games where the opposing side is able to run on them. And usually when we get a run flow going, we get the defense a little tricked up and they start panicking and bring in their defenders. And that's when we start passing. So we'll probably see that from our offense. Their offense is going to be I expect Mixon to have a decent game. I expect them definitely going to the ball a lot because, they have great receivers with Boyd, Higgins, and Chase. But I expect – I don't know. I see a pick. I see at least a pick from Burrow, and I see him getting sacked 3 times. I think the game is going to go back and forth, but – I'll even give it to say that it'll be tied by half, and in the end we come out on top, 24-17.
All
right. That's I'm I kind of hope he's right. It's
I think it's going to line up a lot better than people think. Just looking at the stats, just looking at how these teams kind of are, I think that a lot of people might be writing it off to the Rams pretty quick, but Nicholas isn't doing that, right? And
just hoping for for a good game.
It's gonna be a good one.
I think it should be a good one.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's against us too. I know that the odds have us winning.
Underdogs, man.
Over and under, but yeah. I think I saw a stat that like 65% of America wants the Bengals to win.
Everyone loves an underdog story.
No.
Yeah, and it feels that like all these sports analysts on NFL Network are going for him. Kurt Warner's going for them again. He's always against us.
No, Warner's doing the reverse jinx is what he's doing right now. He played that Sunday game day morning as it come down to the pick 'em. He goes, I've picked against the Rams every game this postseason. They won all of them. I'm going to do it again. Go Rams, but I'm taking the Niners. So Warner's trying to play that reverse jinx.
Yeah. We shall see. I'm as a scorn Chiefs fan hoping that your team wins.
Yeah.
That's just where I'm at.
You got both sides.
You got me going here. You got me on your side.
I think Chiefs fans are lining up with the Rams.
It's it's tough.
We're welcoming all Detroit fans, all Chiefs fans.
It is weird. The Detroit thing is a weird thing that's happening.
And Stafford reaching out and trying to get that guy tickets from the crying Stafford video.
It's a weird thing.
That's great.
Yeah, Detroit's writing it. They're loving it. I've seen some merchandise with the Detroit Rams.
It's weird.
You've got Stafford.
It's a little weird.
You've got Stafford and Eminem at halftime. It's the closest Detroit's going to get to a Super
Stop
Bowl.
stealing memes, Jim.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would love Eminem coming out with the Stafford jersey.
It's possible.
Oh,
Ooh.
Detroit.
Give me the prop
The
on
Lions.
Give me the black.
You're gonna have to go offshore for that, Ryan.
Jersey. Ooh,
that.
yeah.
I'll have to trade in some Bitcoin.
All right, Nicholas, man, we very much appreciate you you hopping on and talking all postseason long with us, and
It's been an honor.
We'll be talking to you again. That is for sure. I don't know when. You know, if your team wins, maybe we'll give you a call and talk to you. If not, there's always the preseason. But we very much appreciate you taking all the time this postseason.
you.
I know you
Thank
you
you.
double recorded for us once because I'm a jerk and deleted the wrong file. It's a thing. So we very much appreciate it, man. And good luck to your team on Sunday.
I really appreciate it, and thanks for having me. It's been an honor to be on this podcast, and good luck to you guys in the future.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on.
Anytime, man. Have a good one.
All right, welcome back in, Justin the Football Show, and it's that time. We're talking AFC. No, I almost say AFC Championship, AFC Champion Super Bowl.
Just trying to fucking go as hard as you can, aren't you?
I'm just throwing it all at KC. We got Bengalorian on the line. We're talking the biggest game of this team's last 30 years, right? Has it set in yet?
Biggest game of his life, right?
Yeah, his life, sure. Has it set in yet? Have you come to the realization?
I just wanted to
that
ask
we
if
are
he's
playing the
sober
Super Bowl?
yet.
Yeah, that's another good question too.
Because I don't think I was at this point. So
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm trying. I gotta go to work. So,
yeah, fair enough.
Has it?
But,
Sorry, not to
but
cut you
no,
off.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of settled in. I'm still very excited. I think that the shock of
I got it.
that game that got us there has not worn off per se, but I've kind of shifted gears into, all right, let's go freaking win this,
See, that was the thing I was going to ask. Now that the shock of, hey, we got there is starting to wear off, you're getting back to work. Have the butterflies set in? Have the nerves sort of kicked in? Has your game day tradition plan already started?
I'm notorious for not not having butterflies. Actually,
Fair enough.
There you go.
I've got a an odd, unwavering confidence in this team. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I wish I don't know. I wish I could tell you I was nervous, but
He's just ready for Sunday.
I've got this. Yeah. I've got this. Maybe it's the Joe Burrow effect. I've got this cool, calm, and collected attitude towards the game.
So I have to ask because I was in this, I don't want to call it the exact same situation, but a similar situation just a couple years ago. Chiefs first Super Bowl, 50-some years, whatever. And to me, you got your game day plan down? How is this gonna work for you? Are you the guy that's gonna watch it with a bunch of fans? Are you have a room full of people? Are you hunkered down in a basement by yourself? I watched the Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl in the basement with just my dog. I made my wife and kid leave the house because I just knew that it was not going to go well, regardless of the outcome for me. So I wanted to ask you, what's your game day plan? How are you handling the stresses that are game day, I guess?
So I make a decent living, but after pricing it out, a buddy and I, $15,000, just to take a trip out to California, we decided, I think we'll go down to Cincinnati. So I'm going to drive down to Cincinnati.
Okay.
And, I'm going to drink my face off and watch this team make history. That's the plan.
There you go.
Absolutely.
I can say I definitely drank my face off that night, so I feel that.
Good drinking though, not bad drinking.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Celebratory,
I'll be good.
End result's the same.
And that sort of leads me to my follow-up on Casey's question is if, where are you watching it? Are you doing the full gear? Are you coming out Bengalorian all the way?
Has to, right?
I mean, you
I'll
sort
be
of
so disappointed.
you sort of
Yeah.
have to, but if you're doing a stripped down version at just a bar, are you going all out, or are you just gonna be the guy in the Burrow jersey?
So at a minimum, I'm bringing the gear down.
It's tough to
I'm gonna
drink with
see
the
how
helmet on,
I'm going
I
to see
guess.
how crowded it is once I arrive because I got a hotel and everything. But if it's ridiculous, when it starts getting dark, I lose peripheral vision in that bad boy. So
That checks
maybe
out.
I'll probably wear it around when it's light out. Have some fun, take some pictures with kids, and do a couple days. But I got a custom Bengalorian
so hard against this team.
new stripes jersey that I'll probably wear come game time.
There
So
you
yeah, I going to throw the Super Bowl patch on it. I got some Star Wars Mandalorian patches on, and it's got Bengalorian written on the back. I'll bring the helmet into the bar, of course.
Oh,
absolutely.
Gonna have to make sure those pictures. I mean, not that you wouldn't. But
charge
those got to make their way to Twitter. We'll get some retweets out so people can
charge
see 'em.
everyone else $5 a pick to wear the helmet in the photo.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah,
Just make them buy you a beer. It's fine.
Well, you're talking. There you go. Right. You're talking
We're
about
on the same page.
You're talking about, taking pictures with the kids, getting dressed up, and this kind of is what I'm seeing from Bengals Twitter, right? We've had Bengals captain on here before. I follow a ton of people from Bengals Twitter on our Twitter account and see what it's like. So what is it like for that kind of whole community to be in this situation? Because it really is. It feels like just kind of this magical year where everything's lining up, everything is all the balls are bouncing your way, and you kind of have the spirit. What's it like for that community right now? I'm getting, pieces of it right from Twitter, but what's it like to be part of that?
It's really, really cool. I mean, to be honest, we're in this kind of like euphoric everybody love everybody stage. You know what I mean? Because it's been 30-something years, man. I'm 30 years old. Like this is huge to me. So even the old heads in the fan base are kind of, creeping out of their cobwebs saying, oh yeah, let's do it again. We got the young fans that are coming in who have probably not suffered through the 90s. You know what I mean? So they're riding the high as well. It's just this awesome, and I keep using the word euphoric. It's so fun. It's just a wave of positivity.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned young fans. My 9-year-old nephew, by virtue of playing Madden, became a Bengals fan. And I'm sort of teasing my brother. My brother's a Cowboys fan. He's like, well, this son of a bitch just gets to run right out here, have all this fun. But it's like getting here is not lost on him.
Point out that's what your brother did?
Sort of, yeah. But,
Cowboys fan.
90s fan, 90s kid in the Cowboys era. But sort of getting here is not lost on him. As one asked about a Bears game once, he goes, Dad, who's quarterbacking? And he goes, oh, it's Andy Dalton. And he just looks at my brother and just scoffs and goes, ugh, Andy Dalton. So he knows what it took to get here. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned the old fans coming out, and I want to ask you about this matchup. Given history, are you excited that you got the Rams and not the Niners again for a third time? All the talk Sunday was, well, the Bengals, they've only been to the AFC Championship game 2 other times. They've won both other times, and they went on to play the 49ers in the Super Bowl and lose both of those games. And there was a possibility where they could have made that. Are you excited with the matchup? Is this the matchup you guys wanted coming into this?
This is the one I wanted because I got that whole there was the and I'm forgetting the name, the Raiders curse we broke, right? And then Bo Jackson, there we go, Bo Jackson curse we supposedly broke, and then having lost to the Niners like that, back then, if you that's a big monkey to have on your back going into Super Bowl weekend. I didn't want that narrative. I wanted the Rams. I wanted the better team out of the two. I wanted to play the big dog on the block and win. That's what I want. If we're going to do it, let's do it the right way.
Right there. Yeah. Because Jam's a Niners fan, and you get it to him good. So, but I think I think everyone thinks you're probably right there.
Yeah, probably. I picked him to win. I got that one right.
That's true. That might have been a little bit of juju curse that you're trying to do, but okay. Nope. Talking briefly, going back a little bit briefly, talk about this AFC Championship game. Sorry, Casey, we got to, but how are they able to do it again? Basically, the exact same thing when these teams played 5 weeks ago, right? How are they able to do it again? Where they get down early, right? They don't maybe look the best. Kansas City's all over them, and then they just kind of build that momentum and they come back. This one took them overtime. How are they able to do it?
I don't know.
Okay, good, because I have no idea.
Oh,
right?
God, I'm glad that's the answer, because I don't either.
I mean, I think that we're at a point as a franchise where, that we can start talking about the Bengals and go, oh, they're good. You know what I mean? Oh, that's a good team. But, for us to just come in as the underdog, minus the Raiders game, as the underdog to these games in, Tennessee and Kansas City, who's a big dog on the block. Kansas City's good. Everybody knows Kansas City's good. And do what we did is just incredible. And that's why I keep echoing this, team of destiny mantra. It's who's stopping us? You know?
Yeah, I see that. I get it. I feel that from this team. I feel it from Joe Burrow. And, and it trickles down from him. The fact that they were able to get him in a draft and come out here and with just this mentality that is sort of just oozed across the board with this team has been fantastic to watch. And you talk about being very similar to a situation here, and Ryan and I kind of butted heads a little bit in our little Facebook group when we were talking about the way that this first half of this AFC Championship game ended. I don't know what you're feeling. I want to get how you were feeling in that moment when Kansas City decided.
We were previewing the Super Bowl.
We'll get there. We got to get there first. This is a big building block.
We didn't get to talk about it.
For me, this was a huge moment into this. Victory was the fact that instead of kicking the 3 points that would have made it a 14-point game, and at that point maybe would have came out with a little different offensive game plan, they were able to stop Mahomes and Tyreek Hill in a short yardage situation and go into halftime with a little bit of swagger. What were you feeling at that moment? Was that for me, that was the turning point of this entire football game. Were you feeling that same thing?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, it was so big. And I don't know if Lou Anarumo was just like, hey, I know we need to adjust because I know they're kicking our teeth in a little bit, but I'm not adjusting. I'm going to wait till the second half, and I'm going to see if they can just figure an adjustment out, and we're just going to throw it at them. Like, I don't know. Lou Anarumo must be, like, clairvoyant or something. But coming out and adjusting and repeating what we did in the first game, holding them to the 3 points plus overtime was unbelievable. Like, even at halftime, though, like, I just – unless we're down 41-3, we're not out of it. I just don't think this team is ever out of it,
Yeah, they're scrappy. They hang on. They're Joe Cool.
They're cool.
The
They are
through.
cool.
They're cool.
Yeah.
And so, since Casey pointed out, we're previewing the Super Bowl, and I guess we'll talk about the Super Bowl a little bit. One of the big questions I have for Cincinnati going into this is that offensive line has struggled at times. 9 sacks against Tennessee, but very good against the blitz as far as Burrow is concerned. But this is a team that doesn't blitz a whole hell of a lot. They can get pressure with their front four, and they can do that very well. You're looking at a guy like Aaron Donald, in my mind, the best player across the board as far as in the NFL goes. How do you feel going up against that defensive front with this shaky offensive line?
In the words of Mike Tomlin, we do not care. You know what I mean? That Tennessee was there. They threw that front four at us. That's unbelievably elite. And we did it. We handled it. Like, I wish I could sit here and draw a picture of you of how Joe does what he does. But literally, I mean, like, statistically, under pressure, he is a dog. He is better when somebody's chasing him like a pit bull and a mailman. Like, he just does it. And they said that we were going to get hit by Max Crosby, right? Nope. They said the Titans were going to rip us apart. Nope. And I love you, man, but they said the Chiefs were going to kill us and our offensive line couldn't hold up there. Nope. I don't know. Aaron Donald is the best player in football. There's no mistaking that. Von Miller's a dog, even with him coming in halfway through the year. But they could sack us 8 times, and I'm like, okay, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, and well, we've seen that you can sack Joe Burrow 9 times, and it's still fine.
Yeah.
That not a lot of worry there. Looking, we'll flip it here for a second. I want to look Bengals defense against this Rams offense. A lot of star power, a lot of great wide receivers. Odell has looked like rookie year Odell pre-boat trip right now in LA. Cooper Kupp's doing fucking things that only
record-setting things.
Record-setting things, the only thing that 2 other receivers in the history of the league have done at this point. How do you get the guys put in place? Eli Apple, he joked about getting Tyreek Hill some tickets to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Was going to hook him up there because he ain't playing it, so he's going to get him some tickets. Can you make this halftime?
Is he exchanging those for, like, catching lessons? Or?
I don't know. Well, he's defense. That's why he plays defense.
That's why he plays defense.
You swat it. Kansas City was familiar. So you get down a little bit. You've been there before. You've been there before. You sort of can adjust going into it. How do you, if this team finds a way where they're down 14 at halftime, how do you adjust and make up for this really great Rams offense?
You manage Kupp. That's what you do. You manage Kupp. We know OBJ. We've seen OBJ. OBJ's had one 100-yard game with the Rams. That's it. Yeah, he's playing all right, but he's not going to kill us like Cup can. And I'm sorry. I know no disrespect to OBJ. I'm not one of these Bengals fan that hates him just because he wore a Cleveland uniform. But we know OBJ's game. We got guys that can play against him. But what we need to do is manage Cup. And I use that word very carefully because you're not going to stop Cooper Kupp. You know what I mean? You're not going to stop Cooper Kupp, just like you're not going to stop Jamar Chase. You know, that dog's going to eat. But you just got to make sure he doesn't finish you out and eat you out of house and home, you know? So
yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at.
And a lot of teams have tried to do that, some successful, some not so much. He's going to get his, but I think it's kind of managing him enough and limiting the other stuff. So
yeah,
but
for sure.
Someone we talked about a little bit with someone else. Right?
There we go. I was going to bring it up, but I'll let you do it because it's your guy.
Well, so
at least I assume that's where
Casey
you're going.
said it at some point. He said, if there's ever going to be a scene that's too big for Joe Burrow, it's going to be this one,
okay.
right? That's where I'm going,
where I
right?
thought you were going. Okay.
National championship, Heisman, AFC
I'm not saying it
championship,
is. I just
year.
like we've joked about it as the playoffs go on.
If there
that,
is, this would be it. Is it going to be too big for him? And I know the answer is no, but go on.
Yeah, I mean, no, you could put that man on the moon playing football with an 8th grade team, and he'd find a way to make it entertaining and make a game out of it. I don't think there's a stage too big for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is the stage. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
No, I can't hate it. And it's great. You've seen some like old Joe Burrow tweets that have come out lately just to make you like the guy even more.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation where a first round quarterback comes out with all of this moxie in college, and he's coming out and you kind of hate him a little bit. And then he just goes on and do all this fun stuff, and you find yourself
He's fun as hell.
He's fun as hell. Great rooting for him. Didn't mean to jump in front of you, Casey, if you had a question there.
No, this is where I thought Ryan was going because we've talked about this Cincinnati offense and how are they going to get going, right? Like what is it? I mean, Jalen Ramsey, you've seen on
Ramsey
on
Jamar Chase.
on all the reports are he has been petitioning to shadow Jamar Chase, which really isn't my question. My question is going to the other side of the ball then, where me and Ryan started it, and he's sort of brought me onto the island. Like we're just really big on all the T. Higgins prop bets this weekend.
Love T. Higgins.
Like we just think that okay, like Ramsey's good, right? Like you said, no one's going to completely shut down Chase. That's not happening. But if Ramsey's on that side of the field, T. Higgins is over there on the other side. I just like his chances of putting up some big numbers. How do you feel about T. Higgins this weekend?
Yeah, go ahead. One-on-one Chase. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You want to go one-on-one
Begging
Chase?
for it.
You're going to have cleat marks. You're going to have cleat marks on your back if you try to one-on-one him. I don't care how good Ramsey is. I know he's good, but we're just not scared of him. And if you want a one-on-one Chase and you want to hyper focus, go ahead. Go ahead. T. Higgins will make you seem like a fool. And if you think you can cover T and you think, hey, we can manage both of them, we got him. Go ahead, because we'll hit Joe Mixon underneath and he'll embarrass you. You know what I mean? It's a high-powered offense. It is what it is. I mean, sometimes the high-powered offense comes out in the second half.
That's
but
true.
It's a high-powered offense. You take away one weapon, we're going to pull another one out of our pocket. It just is what it is. And then nobody's even mentioned Tyler Boyd. He's not had a prolific season, but he'll kill you underneath, And then I know he might be a tiny bit banged up, but C.J. Uzomah is a dog. We just have a lot going on. The Rams have a great high-powered offense too, but so do we.
Yeah.
They are. You mentioned all the players there, but you missed one.
Who?
And I know if it comes down to it, fucking Shooter McPherson's gonna walk right out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this has been such a fun story from an outside.
Fun team, but
a fun team, but just the fact that he went up one. Well, I guess we're going to the AFC Championship game, and he fucking said that in overtime, but no one wants to admit or come out that he said that in overtime. But he said that. And here's a guy that, and again, we talk about moments being too big for it, and I heard it talked about in this AFC Championship game specifically is, well, sometimes the benefit of these rookie kickers is they've never experienced this before, so they're not. Now if they just come out here and they business as usual, they don't have that one bad kick to sort of falter on. And this is a guy that's been fucking ice in his veins throughout the playoffs.
Yeah.
Two games won walk-off field goals back to back from Evan McPherson here. So you gotta love knowing that you've got that in your back pocket if it comes down to a kicking game.
Oh yeah, if we cross the 50, we're getting 3 points, unless a ridiculous sack occurs, which it's happened, right? Look at this. Look at how many times he's been sacked, right? I'm a realist. I'm honest with myself. But if we cross the 50 and Joe Burrow doesn't get sacked for 10 yards, like behind the line of scrimmage, we're getting 3 points.
Yeah, and I think that obviously Evan McPherson and Joe and Jamar Chase and how fun he is and everything that this team has and Zach Taylor just being cool as the other side of the pillow as well. Like,
yeah,
it's just been a fun ride to watch. So we got to find out. Is this ride going to continue? So Bengalorian looking at the game, looking maybe a little bit of flow. You've done this before. You've done this plenty of times with us. But looking at how this game's going to go, right? It's at home for the Rams. It's going to be 86 degrees and beautiful and the hottest Super Bowl ever, whatever.
Home,
yeah,
Rams.
quote unquote home. So how does this game go? Give us a final score. What are we looking at Sunday night?
It's going to be a close one. It's a Super Bowl. Both of these teams. It's a fun Super Bowl too, guys. Like, I mean, look, both these teams are really likable. Would you say that?
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, both these teams are really likable. But unless you're a Niners fan, I guess, or a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But I see another one. Man, I see another 31-28, 41-38, and I see a McPherson 47 to 52-yard field goal.
101 for
through.
MVP. I'm telling you guys.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna hammer that.
If kickers could win it.
Oh, we can't here in
If
Iowa.
kickers
It's so
could win it.
annoying.
I don't want it to go to overtime. I'll tell you that because
Fair enough.
I just
I don't
told
blame
you
you
I
there.
was not. I had nerves of steel. But if this goes overtime, I might have to change my pants.
Well, make sure you bring a change because I do think this is going to be a close, fun
It'd
one.
be the second
I
Super
think
Bowl
it
ever
is.
to do it. So
There could be a
Yeah.
close, fun one at least.
Yeah. And obviously, Bengals win.
All right, man. Well, we very much appreciate you spending some time with us here in this postseason. We appreciate you, taking all the time you have this season.
Even
just
when
in
you
general.
hit Casey up really early with the message,
He did too.
Yeah,
pouring
Casey.
a little bit in the wound.
No, it's good.
I'm sorry, but
It's all good. It hurts, but it's what it is. It's the life of a football fan, and man, it's tough to root against this Bengals team. I'm gonna try, but I don't know that I can. Like, this is just like you said. Like, this is just a team of guys that it's hard to root against, and I hope it's a really good game, and man. It's gonna be fun. Like I said, we appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us this postseason, preseason, all of that, and if that win happens, we may have to give you a call and get your thoughts on the game and all of that. Because man, I know, like I said, I kind of know what it's like to be there, like first Super Bowl in the life. These things are important, man. It's a big deal. I get it. I absolutely get it. So, good luck. Best of luck, and I hope you have a really fun and good Sunday.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. You guys, I owe you, Casey, because I think the body was still warm when I texted you. So
it was, but I think I was
that.
still drunk, so I think it's fair.
Yeah. No, but hey, thanks. I really appreciate you guys having me on. You guys can call me anytime. You guys are a blast.
Absolutely. We appreciate you hanging out, and man, make sure you guys are following him on Twitter. Get all the pictures that he's going to post. All the ones that he has posted.
It's going to be a wild one.
And for real, check out Bengals Twitter because it is a time.
I thought I went hard in the paint when it comes to being a fan of a live sporting
it's
event,
what?
but Bengalorian puts me to
It's
shame.
been a couple years since we discovered Bengals Twitter, and man, it's a thing. We didn't know. We had no idea.
Yep.
Last couple seasons, we had
just
no
dipped
idea.
the toe in.
But we found it, and it is a thing. So we really appreciate you representing and having a good time with us.
Yes, sir. Who dat, guys?
Have a good one, sir. All right, that's fan preview, guys. Like,
Maybe a couple more shots that you guys had thought there would be.
I think you
yeah.
planned it.
Some from me.
I think you planned it.
Yeah.
Just quick as because legitimately full on behind the curtain. We have not recorded the preview episode yet. That's coming up here shortly in the recording. You guys will hear it on Friday.
They both did a good
you guys,
job of trying to sell
You
me
guys
one
know where
right
you're
now.
going? You guys feel good about where you're going?
I have no
I have
fucking
nothing
clue.
written down.
the answer I
have
wanted.
no idea where
No,
I'm going in this.
That
My
is
paper
the-
says Super Bowl. That's it. Like, that's as far as
That
I
is
got.
Mine
the-
doesn't even say that.
Well, I
man.
think that's unnecessary title, but I had a couple minutes to kill before you showed up.
It's the answer I wanted, so that's good.
I was on time.
All right,
Yeah, but I
so
was here earlier.
we're going to come back at you guys on Friday. Like I said, we had to give the fans their own. The interviews were so good. I felt really good about them. We were gonna try to throw them on Friday, but we also want to play a little quarterback match game on Friday, have a little fun before we go into the stress that is talking the Super Bowl. So we'll be back on Friday. We're gonna do a little quarterback match game. We're gonna go through some quarterbacks. Tell you where we think early predictions
Where
these
they're
quarterbacks
landing,
are going to
who's starting
land,
where.
who's starting where, and then we'll preview the Super Bowl, give you our predictions, update the 4-score, give you our final 4-score picks for the season, and we'll be off, right? Like that's a season, guys. We've been doing this for too long. I think we got it all figured out.
I think we'll do a little decompression. We'll review the Super Bowl, and then it's a week off.
A week
yeah,
off,
we'll take a
and
little
then
week off. The
hit
week
you
off
with-
landed nicely for my schedule. Turns out now that I'm looking at it,
And then all the fun shit happens.
oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot
We got
of fun.
some fun.
Ryan's already like, can we talk draft?
9 days after the
we can
Super Bowl,
talk
free
draft.
agency window opens, or free agent tag situation starts. Franchise tag situation starts.
There's no offseason in the NFL nowadays, so
No.
that's the fun part. So and then the free agent thing we'll talk about. It's a whole
Like
thing.
March 14th. That's
24/7.
literally a month. So
Yep, and we will maybe we'll get a little live stream going for the. We'll see how things go. Schedules work out. We'll get it all figured out. So. Until Friday when we preview the Super Bowl, we give you our picks, our scores.
Yep.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
The one score.
Sorry, the one score. The one score could decide it all,
technically
though.
2 scores because you give one team score and the
This
other
is-
score. But it's just one final.
Well, I mean that would make the regular
4
season
score and
the
8
8 score.
score.
So, yeah, you can't change it up now.
behind the 8 score.
All right, for these two
That's a
fucksticks,
terrible name.
clearly
Look, it's-
fucksticks.
Working
Yeah.
on it.
This has been just another football show.
Bye.
See ya.
Act one, scene one. Oh.